Yeah.
What's going on with Bill Belichick?
Look,
Yesterday was like a tribute game to Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and I would like to get through this without saying any F-bombs, so I'm going to do my best to think about what I'm actually going to say here. But, yeah, it was despicable. One thing about Bill Belichick, sure, going through the memories, it was fantastic. Just seeing everything that he's done as, on his own with New England was sweet. I don't understand where it turned yesterday because at some point – someone either reported something or someone took something that was said weeks ago, perhaps, and the conversation was, hey, this is it for Bill Belichick in New England. I don't think so. The reports recently have been, hey, nothing is going to be final until Bob Kraft and Bill sit down. That might not happen until Tuesday. Might not happen until Wednesday. Now it's being reported couple meetings as well between Bill and Bob.
Yeah, but Schefter had to get up for a phone call from a Kraft.
Yes, he did. And maybe that was Johnny Kraft saying, hey, Schefter, stop saying you feel like Bill and Bob are done. Because Schefter said that, everyone ran with it. Massive bummer. My guy, Jordo Schultz, who only reports real news, is saying that there is a massive chance, because Mike Vrabel is interested in returning to New England, we might be able to get the guy who will cut his dong off to win another Super Bowl. I do believe if it's not Bill, Vrabel will be nice. Still probably Gerard Mayo.
Getting back to Belichick, Shefty, if he, let's say he moves on from the Patriots, they move on. Do you see him becoming the GM and head coach wherever he goes, or is it possible, hey, just the head coach?
I think Bill loves football so much that he just wants to be a part of it. That I think it's most important for him to be a coach first and foremost. And if the other thing happens, fine. And if
so
it
you're
doesn't,
saying defensive coordinator for Navy?
Yeah, exactly. He would love that. I think he's happy just being involved. I don't think he feels like, boy, I have to do this.
You don't think he wants to be in charge of all that, though? He's been in charge of everything for so long now.
Well, you heard him, what he said this morning at his press conference.
He acted like he was okay with it, right?
He's like, I don't have to be the head personnel man. Like that. You haven't heard him talk about that before.
Is it possible, Shefty, sorry to cut you off, that he doesn't want to coach in New England anymore and he wants to change his scenery?
Jeez.
I just asked, is it a question?
What the
hell?
question?
We do questions.
Framed in an
Here's what
interesting way.
I would say that there probably are built-up feelings, like in any relationship. There's a lot of baggage that develops over 24 years on both sides.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think there are some things that Bill doesn't like, and I think there are some things that the Krafts don't like, and they may decide, you know what, we've had enough of those things, and let's go our own ways. Or they may have the idea that let's talk this through, figure it out, come up with things that make it better, and go on. Now, again, the feeling has been that that's not going to happen, but the conversations have been going on, and until those are over, you just don't know how that's going to come out. And, maybe later today, tomorrow, the end of the week, they announced that they've parted ways. We knew that was coming. But I still think until they have those talks and go through it, you just don't know.
And?
Got a phone call.
We'll see. We'll see.
You have to answer that right there?
Not right now.
Right, great. Okay, so not
fair.
Close.
Okay.
No one's,
Okay. Not Bob Kraft.
Just put it in the microphone. We do it all the time.
Yeah, just just answer.
We're
Say,
live.
live. Oh, I thought you were going to do that.
Oh, me too. I was doing it.
Don't do that. There was a play yesterday, Shefty, and I know you have to hit your phone, where, and you just said a lot right there without saying much, but also he probably does have some information.
He's a master of it.
You know what I mean? So, like, every answer we have to kind of pick through. The New York Jets yesterday were doing snow angels.
Okay.
Yep.
On the New England Patriots
Why are we doing
field.
this?
And then they showed Robert Kraft.
Got to cover everything.
And you actually see Robert Kraft go, all right, they're doing snow angels on the field. Okay? And then he shakes the hand and he's leaving. Don't get up.
Don't get up.
Don't get up.
Yeah.
They're doing snow angels.
Nice run.
In Fox. The Jets are doing snow angels.
Well, want to get down.
What a run by Breece Hall, by the way. This guy's back.
Huge day for Breece Hall. 170.
Oh, let's do a little slip and slide. Oh, wait, we're in the snow. What do we need to do? Oh, we've seen the Patriots doing this. Snow angels.
Yeah.
Snow angels.
So much fun.
Robert Kraft. All right, they're doing snow angels.
Get up.
All right, please. And then they go to Bill wearing a ski mask with the hoodie.
Dog.
If that is the last image we see, I mean, what a time. And what
The
a
masked
run.
man.
Yeah, and then Robert Kraft leaving, saying, I'm out of here. But the conversation I found interesting was we'll talk to him tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers and Bill Belichick.
Man.
I mean, allegedly they talked for like 20 minutes before the game, and then after the game there was a mighty embrace.
Beeline to him. He shook Robert Sala's hand, didn't even look at anybody else. Beeline for Rodgers.
With his mask on.
Mask on. And that was it. Right after that,
Bill's
right
going
to
to
the
the
locker
Jets.
room.
Oh, you think Bill Belichick going back to the New York Jets?
What do you think,
Or
Shefty?
Pittsburgh to replace Tomlin.
Ooh.
Nah.
Whoa. I mean, there was a lot of people saying, hey, kind of full circle. If this is it for Bill, which I hope it's not, kind of full circle, leaves the Jets after being a coach for a day, all the way loses to the Jets in his last game in New England. There were a lot of conversations about that, but with that suite, I believe the first time ever in the history of the NFL, another head coach of another team decided to go and sit in the suite of Bob Kraft. Now, this man had a red jacket on because he was just inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame, which a lot of people say is the most exclusive Hall of Fame in the entire NFL.
Yeah, you don't even hear about it.
Exactly. You don't hear
This
about
year we
it.
had no idea what was happening.
No idea. It just kind of popped up. Mike Vrabel and Jordo Schultz has reported, and he only reports and he only reports the truth. Always have 100% accurate.
Yeah, always.
He says Vrabel is interested in maybe coming back to New England. Won't have to cut his dick off because he wants to do that to win a Super Bowl. That is his words, not mine.
Not ours, bussin'.
Yep. Yeah, he has said that. That is not hyperbole.
Journalism.
Is that something that has been kind of floating around your waters? That is Vrabel definitely out of Tennessee? That's kind of out of nowhere, or what's going on?
No, I mean, we talked about it over the weekend, Sunday Countdown. Basically, I think people had assumed that Vrabel was safe. I think that there's been a lot of talk that he is interested in moving on. He's publicly said he's not, but there's been a lot of whispers otherwise. I think the team has had some questions about what's gone on there this year that they want to get addressed. And so they're going to get together at some point this week and figure out whether or not they want to continue with this relationship. But I think that one is unsettled, and that one is up in the air. And I know we want answers right now, like, he's out or he's in. Or
he's out.
Sweet.
It's just not always that easy. It's fluid, right? Like, it changes.
Yeah, because there's humans involved. Is it from the time that A.J. Brown was traded during the draft when he got up and did this number? And then GM fired, new GM comes in.
Yep.
Like, when do you think this all kind of started for Vrabel to potentially think about moving on? And also, was that why Tannehill and Derrick Henry, last ride, boys?
I think when they moved on from John Robinson, I do think that Mike Vrabel had an idea of how he wanted the front office shaped and who would be the new general manager. I do think that he wanted Ryan Cowden to be the GM. I think that was his choice, and it didn't happen that way. And they hired Rand Carthon, who's very well liked and very well respected. And so whatever happens after that happens, but he didn't get the GM that he wanted initially. And so there's some sentiment and some residue off that.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that would be a very easy reason why you would potentially not see. And obviously, Rand has his own idea on how the team's supposed to go as well. So it might be good for a fresh start. College or New England?
You got to figure out, okay, either we can figure this out and work together, or we can't.
That's a massive part of a lot of these moves that get made, right? Especially what's coming up in the hiring process.
Yeah, well, communication is a big part of it, and also, but every situation is different, right? Like in New England, I always say, I remember being in Denver for years, and Dan Reeves was an institution as a head coach. He was a legendary figure. He had been there so long, and the Broncos owner, Pat Bowlen, who was a great man, he fired him. And I remember saying to Pat, why you fired Dan? Dan's such a good football coach. What happened? And he goes, I wanted my team back. And you just get the sense sometimes, if that's the case, where Robert Kraft wants his team back.
Sheffield, you said some really serious stuff the last couple.
Loved it.
These last 3-4 sentences. Yeah. Real serious stuff about a lot of situations. Like Vrabel in the GM, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now it makes a lot of sense, and it's like, all right, maybe a fresh start. Them talking about him to the Patriots.
Well, they said fresh start, and they said Patriots. Again, let's see how it all plays out before we're putting him with New England or anything like that.
Well, if he's leaving Tennessee, he's going to New England. Let's just get that out of the way. Is there another guy out of nowhere like a Mike McDaniel that people are really high on that no one knows about?
As a head coach?
Yeah, as a candidate.
Well, I think everybody knows. By the way, I like that pen.
That's Mike.
Read it, Mike. Say it. What's it say?
Say it. You should say it.
What's it say?
Yeah, you should say it. Read it.
What's it say?
2 words. 2 syllables.
Go ahead.
I'll skip that.